The Porsche 911, more than just a car. It's an icon that stood the test of time. While the world of high-end sports cars is ever-changing, with Ferraris and Lamborghinis constantly reinventing themselves, the Porsche 911 stays true to its roots. After more than 60 years, this machine still carries that unmistakable, timeless look. No other car has managed to keep its original essence alive quite like the 911. Ferrari's latest models nod to their past, with sleek lines that remind us of the classic designs from decades ago. Lamborghini's Huracan and Aventador bring echoes of the legendary Countach and Diablo, reminding enthusiasts of their heritage. But with Porsche, it's different. The 911 isn't just influenced by its past, it is its past, evolving from generation to generation while remaining undeniably a 911. Why is this? Perhaps it's because the 911 was born from family, not just engineering. After World War II, Ferdinand Porsche passed the company down to his son, Ferry. Ferry led the creation of Porsche's first production sports car, the 356, which hit the roads in 1948. But when the time came for a successor to the 356, Ferry handed the design challenge to his own son, Ferdinand Alexander Porsche, to craft what would become the 911. This father-to-son legacy embedded a continuity in design that's been carried through every 911 ever made. The design brief for the 911 wasn't just about looking fast. It had to be practical and stay true to Porsche's DNA. Ferry's instructions were specific. Make it a two-seater, include some jump seats in the back, and ensure it's easier to get into than the low-lying 356. Porsche's sales team was equally clear. Keep the essence of Porsche intact. It wasn't meant to be a radical departure. It was meant to carry the sporty character Porsche was known for, while still being fresh and innovative. And that's exactly what the 911 did when it debuted at the 1963 Frankfurt Motor Show, originally named the 901. A minor dispute that Peugeot over numbering forced Porsche to add a 1, turning it into the iconic 911 we know today. But this wasn't just a name change, the design set a standard. Those independent front wings, the smooth slope of the fastback, and the signature side window shape are still part of the 911's DNA today, making each new generation instantly recognizable. The evolution of the 911 wasn't stagnant though. Take the 996 generation, launched in the late 1990s under the guidance of designer Pinky Lai. The 996 was the first to abandon the air-cooled engine for a more efficient water-cooled system, improving emissions and fuel consumption while keeping performance top-notch. It even borrowed elements from another Porsche model, the Boxster, introducing a new headlight design and reducing drag. But in the 90s, the Porsche 911 was gearing up for yet another evolution, and the result? Pure automotive magic. Enter the 911 964 Turbo, an all-wheel drive beast that redefined what a sports car could do. It wasn't just about speed anymore, it was about control, and this was the first time the 911 had ever been equipped with all-wheel drive. Then came the 911 993, a symbol of the end of an era. The model would be the last to carry Porsche's legendary air-cooled engine. For many, the 993 is the ultimate blend of heritage and performance, standing as a proud reminder of where Porsche had been, while also signaling the next step forward. And the next step? The dawn of the 2000s brought the 911 into a whole new world. The 911 996 ushered in the era of water-cooled engines, marking a shift that purists debated, but Porsche knew was necessary to meet the future. Not only was the engine more advanced, but the car itself became more aerodynamic, and the interior? Plush and tech-savvy, setting a new standard for luxury sports cars. As the years flew by, the 997 and 991 models arrived, packing more power, refined design, and cutting-edge technology. Yet even with all the changes, the soul of the 911 remained untouched. By 2018, the 8th generation, the Porsche 992 landed on the scene, with innovations like wet mode for slippery conditions and a meticulously designed interior. This was a car that respected its past, but was ready for the future. Then there's the track-bred GT3, a true tribute to Porsche's racing legacy. Its naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine produces 502 horsepower and sports a swan-neck rear wing inspired directly by motorsport design. Meanwhile, the Carrera S balances performance and everyday drivability thanks to its twin-turbo 3.0-liter flat-six engine with 443 horsepower. Then in 2004, Porsche brought out a game-changer, the Type 997. Sure, it still carried that unmistakable 911 silhouette, but this was no mere cosmetic upgrade. The 997 had a sleeker, race-inspired look that left both fans and critics in awe. And the power? Absolutely undeniable. The base Carrera packed a 3.6-liter engine, cranking out 325 horsepower, while the Carrera S took things up a notch with its 3.8-liter engine, boasting a solid 355 horsepower. But that was just the beginning. In 2006, Porsche raised the bar yet again at the Geneva Auto Show with the 911 Turbo. This wasn't just another turbocharged sports car. It was the first ever gasoline-powered production car to use variable turbine geometry, an innovation that allowed the turbo to adapt as driving conditions changed. With that, Porsche was setting new standards for what a high-performance car could achieve. By 2008, the Type 997 got even better. Porsche's engineers pushed the boundaries of efficiency, introducing direct fuel injection and a dual-clutch transmission. This not only boosted performance, but made the 997 a legend in Porsche's lineup, paving the way for its next evolution, the Type 991. Now, the Porsche Type 991 was more than just a follow-up. It was revolutionary. While it maintained the iconic teardrop shape, its design was modernized. The roofline gracefully tapered toward the back, and the raised front wings gave the car a more aerodynamic and streamlined appearance. It was a signal that Porsche wasn't just holding on to its legacy, it was pushing it forward. In 2011, the 991 Carrera and Carrera S hit the streets. The Carrera came with a 3.4-liter boxer engine producing 345 horsepower, while the Carrera S roared with 395 horsepower from its 3.8-liter engine. Then, in 2015, Porsche introduced their first turbocharged Carrera models, marking a milestone and a point of contention. The new 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged engines delivered 370 horsepower in the Carrera and 420 in the Carrera S. While some die-hard purists felt the move to turbocharging was a departure from tradition, others embraced the added power, torque, and efficiency that came with it. It was a turning point for Porsche, where the past met the future head-on. Turbocharging changed everything for Porsche, marking the start of a new era. It wasn't just about squeezing more power out of the engine, it was a commitment to meeting modern emission standards without sacrificing the soul of the 911. But did it make the 911 a better car? That all depends on what you're looking for in a sports car. Power and efficiency? Definitely. But for those who chase the raw, visceral feel of the older models, the debate continues. Fast forward to late 2018, and we meet the next evolution in this legendary lineage, the Porsche 911 Type 992, unveiled with much fanfare in Los Angeles just before the LA Auto Show. It felt like a nod to the 911's love affair with California. Over 50 years had passed since the original 911 hit the roads, but the 992 carried forward its timeless silhouette, one that's immediately recognizable to car enthusiasts around the world. But this wasn't just a facelift. The 992 sported wider wings, more pronounced wheel arches, and for the first time, 21-inch rear wheels on the Carrera models. Porsche managed to strike the perfect balance between keeping its iconic shape and adding contemporary design touches that scream speed and precision. Underneath that classic exterior, the 992 roars with a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine, revamped from the previous generation for even more power and responsiveness. In the Carrera S and 4S models, it delivers a jaw-dropping 443 horsepower. That's enough to launch the car from 0 to 60 mph in just 3.5 seconds. But Porsche didn't stop at raw power. The 992 comes equipped with the Porsche Advanced Cockpit, where digital screens surround the driver with real-time information, all while keeping the iconic analog tachometer in place for that old-school feel. And then there's the industry-first wet mode, a brilliant feature that detects water on the road and automatically adjusts the car's handling to keep you in control, rain, or shine. Since its debut, The 992 lineup has expanded with the Carrera T, Turbo, Turbo S, and the GT3, each offering its own take on the 911 experience, but all of them staying true to the brand's DNA. Whether it's the unmistakable roar of the engine or the thrill you get behind the wheel, the 992 proves one thing for sure. The spirit of the Porsche 911 is alive and well, still pushing boundaries after 6 decades. And through all of these changes, the heart of the 911 stayed the same. It's the car that doesn't need to chase trends. It is the trend. After 8 generations, the Porsche 911 remains a living testament to the power of consistency in a world that's constantly moving forward. And that's what makes it more than just a car. It's a legacy. And that's our look at one of the most iconic sports cars in history. If you love the thrill of the drive, keep your engines revved and subscribe for more.